We're gonna learn how to make a whiskey sour today. Sour, at its heart, is a very simple thing because it's just spirit, sugar, and citrus, for the sour part of it. There are a lot of examples of these, and some people say, if you were to say the margarita is a sour, a lot of people would agree. I agree with you on that one. It's sort of its own class of sour on its own. The whiskey sour is probably about as simple as you can get. And we're gonna go ahead and just make one real quick. Where did I put? There it is. Now we're going to get right to it because I found my jigger. I'm gonna go ahead and do half an ounce of simple syrup. I do a 2-to-1 ratio of sugar to water. For those of you who may be curious, I'm gonna go with an ounce of lemon juice. Well, no, I'm not gonna go an ounce. I'm gonna go 3/4 of an ounce. Wow, right on the money, as a matter of fact. I'm gonna go with 2 ounces of my whiskey. You can do whatever whiskey you like. If you enjoy a bourbon, feel free to. I'm gonna go with a rye. I'm gonna go with the Alberta Premium, which is a Canadian rye whiskey. Actually, this is the cask strength. It's really strong stuff. I haven't had it in a sour, so I am curious to try it. 2 ounces. Our final ingredient is one that might frighten some people, but there's nothing to be afraid of. It's an egg. An egg white specifically. You don't really have to worry about salmonella as long as you're using pasteurized eggs, which if you bought it from a grocery store, it's probably pasteurized. It's a very small amount, and it's not going to taste eggy. It's going to foam up just like a meringue, because it is. And having that nice little meringue is gonna, well, you're gonna see. So it's gonna go ahead, crack this. And like I said, it's just the white. You do not want the yolk in there. General rule of thumb whenever you're making any meringue, no yolk, because yolk can actually make it difficult to foam. Alright, egg yolk is in there, whiskey, sugar, lemon juice. You're going to dry shake first, which is just shaking with no ice. Be careful when doing this, because it's the cold of the ice that's going to cause your shakers to really actually seal up. Without that, they're much more likely to leak, but you do need a dry shake. So, all right. I appear to be having some trouble, so this is the second time I've shot this today. I was having some trouble getting the egg white to foam up. So I'm gonna try a little trick here where you take the spring off of your strainer and you throw it in there with the other ingredients, and this will help to kind of whip it, and that will cause it to, well, just like when you're using a whisk to beat egg whites, it'll help to incorporate air. Usually not necessary, but I'm having issues, and so if this doesn't resolve it, I'm gonna try it again with bourbon and see if that does anything, or a different rye. Son of a bitch. It's just not coming together. I do wonder, because this is a cask strength rye, and so it's at 63%. Most whiskeys are going to be bottled at 40%. So I wonder if that increase has anything to do with it, because there is a much higher alcohol content. So with more ethanol and less water, maybe it's causing it, making it difficult for the bonds to form. Because if you look in there, it's not really foaming. It's mixed together and homogenized, but I'm going to try this one more time. Okay, we're back. I went ahead and got the Rittenhouse. It's going to be the same measurement for everything, only I'm going to be trying it with a different whiskey and see if that does anything. So, one last time, relax, make a drink with me. One last time, Alright, so we're back. All the same measurements, all the same ingredients. We changed it out for a rye that's lower proof. You can see that makes a difference. If not, then... Okay, this is looking much better. You can see it's kind of, I know it's tough with this camera angle, I'm doing the best I can, but it's actually a bit more frothy and foamy. It's still not perfect though, we still need our ice. When I shake with ice, I do 2 cubes, one big, one I'm just gonna take and crack with my bar spoon. You could, of course, use anything you like, and if you don't have big ice cubes, then you don't have big ice cubes. You should get some. Alright, so now we're gonna shake with ice until my hands can't take it anymore. Oh yeah, it's looking really nice. I can't feel my hands. Okay, have our coupe glass. Honestly, I wish I had a sour glass. It'd be, well, as the name implies, the ideal for this. But this should be fine. Strainer on. I'm gonna go ahead, pour that out. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Now when you pour it out, give it, well, not a minute, not an actual full minute. Give it a few seconds for those bubbles and everything to kind of work their way to the surface. Not only for, sorry, I'm out of breath. I've been doing, like I said, it's like the 3rd or 4th time I've had to do that because it wasn't working out for me. So I'm a bit out of breath and also a bit out of shape, which doesn't help me with being out of breath. Give it a minute, that way the foam can get nice and dense on there. Go ahead and grab yourself some bitters. I'm using Peychaud, which is some of my favorite. You can also use Angostura. You can do yourself a few little drops on there, maybe a slash or 2. Okay. Then get yourself a little pick. Drag it through. Now you can see it actually can give it a nice little design with those bitters. It's a small touch, and at first I thought it was like an optional thing that only some people did, but every single recipe I've seen talking about this does this. So I don't know how traditional it is, but it's definitely practiced a lot in modern mixology. I love it because not only does it look really nice, but having these bitters on top, which are very concentrated flavors and smells, you have to influence the whole drink. That's what you want. Dense foam. Oh, that was very good. It's still not quite as dense and luxurious as I usually like. And I guess I made a discovery today that the more, because this is 50%, like I said, usually I'll make this with whiskey or an alcohol that is 40%, but the other stuff was 60, actually 63%. So it could be the higher the ethanol content, the more difficult it is, maybe perhaps because there's less water, or the way the proteins in egg whites interact with ethanol, I don't know. Do something to cause it to be pretty much impossible for it to froth up for one reason or another, but this is very nice. It's not really too sweet. It's just enough. It's a little sour. I can taste the whiskey. Everything's kind of coalescing in there nice, and of course these lovely Peychaud's bitters getting on the nose. Yeah, I like that. So today we made ourselves a little whiskey sour. I do love this drink. I strongly encourage you to seek it out, you to try it. Like I say, do not fear the egg white. The egg white is your friend. Propaganda has led you to believe it's your enemy. But really, the egg white is your greatest asset. Okay, maybe not your greatest asset, but it's pretty good. As I said, these drinks, sours, date back for centuries. It's believed by some people that the idea of a sour came off of sailor ships where they would mix a little bit of rum, typically, or whatever spirit they happen to have, with some lime juice in their water to make it not so much more palatable, but safer, because it was really gross water they were drinking. They took that concept, brought it on shore, and started applying it to cocktails. And you can see it's a pretty easy step, 1, 2, 3. These have probably been made for years, decades before the first recipe was published. I think it was 1883, perhaps? Like one of the original cocktail books, who I cannot remember the name of right now. But it's classic, it's tasty. Try it. I'm done talking. I need to get some rest.